I'm Brett McGregor, and since I won New Zealand's MasterChef, I've been doing a lot of travelling. Travel broadens the mind and the palate. I want to taste intense flavours, share inspiring recipes, and make new friends around the world. New South Wales is known for many things. It's the most populated state in Australia, it's got fantastic beaches, and of course, it's got Sydney. But I bet you've never heard of the Sapphire Coast. It stretches just south of Sydney all the way to the Victorian border. Compared to the north, it's way less populated, it's greener, and it even reminds me a little bit of home. But it's also really well known for its fantastic seafood. I'm starting in the very south of the state, in Eden, with Australia's coastal wilderness adventures, ocean to plate experience.
The conditions are looking quite good, so let's go for it.
And the water is beautiful. This is a guided ocean foraging and cooking experience, and my guide, Scott, has a little abalone dish he wants to show me. But first, there's work to be done.
What you want to do is use this blunted knife here and just slide it in between the abalone and the rock.
Okay.
And then just lever it off as quick as possible.
Rightio.
Because if you're not quick with it, they'll actually suck down really hard and they'll become quite difficult to get off. So.
Rightio. To do this tour, you only need to be a confident swimmer. They provide the gear and the guidance to make sure your foraging adventure is successful.
That's a good size abalone.
That is legendary. It is too, man. I'm pretty chuffed with that.
Massive. That's huge.
What an amazing experience, mate, eh?
Oh, well spotted.
But right down under that crack.
Yeah.
That's quite amazing,
like
eh?
this.
Back on shore, it's time to enjoy the fruits of our labour. Scott, beautiful day for a dive, but even better place to cook it up. What are you going to do?
What I'm going to do is shuck the abalone. You see how the shell is nice and rounded there?
Yeah.
And there's that little flat section.
Yeah.
You just come in at the back there, and what you're trying to do is sever a muscular foot at the bottom.
Oh, yeah, no
which
worries.
attaches the shell. So it can be a bit of a dirty job.
Someone's got to do it, though.
Yep. Looks like I'm stuck with it today.
Well, I'm going to
but,
keep up with the garlic, the chilli and the ginger, mate.
Yeah, these abs have a frilly bit on the outside. It's important to trim that away because it can become quite tough when it's cooked.
Okay. So what is that little piece that you've just cut off there?
That's just a part of the digestive system.
Rightio.
Yeah.
So the arse.
Yeah. Just grate about as much as you got the garlic there. And,
alrighty.
Yep, that would be sweet. And then just finely dice that chilli that you've got there as well.
Seeds in or seeds out?
Seeds out.
Okay.
Take a bit of the heat out of it.
A little bit more work for me then.
We want to taste the abalone. It's just an equal amount to
All right,
ginger
so
and garlic there. And
30, 30, 30.
slice it thinly through that cross section, as thin as possible. Just take your time, get the nice thin slices. And
You got a nice sharp knife.
yeah, you got to have a sharp knife for this, that's the key.
Righto, mate, so what am I doing with all of these things?
Well, now you've got all that there, you can just put it in that small container there. So put all those in together, and then you want to chop your lime in half, squeeze half the lime in with that.
Okay. Oh, look at that beautiful lime.
And put a little bit of olive oil in to seal it off. Time to bash the abs. So put them in a bag.
Now,
so,
why are you going to give them a bash?
Well, with abalone meat, it can be quite tough if you don't tenderise it.
Yeah.
I've got a pretty primal tool today, but it's effective. So, yeah, just get on top of it.
And it really does need it. I suppose you could slow cook it and it would become really nice and tender as well.
Yep, that's another way to do it.
Right, straight in.
One of the best tools for this dish is this little container. You can throw all the ab meat in there, all in one go, just like that. Put your lid on.
Yeah.
And just give it a good shake.
So that's obviously just going to get the marinade all over?
Yep. Add your olive oil. Just want about half a teaspoon in there. Ready to go in now. On your hot pan, just like that. You want to hear that noise? Toss it around, flip it around again. Now we want to serve it up into our abalone shells.
Is that it?
That's ready to go.
Wow, okay, well.
So we want to get that in those shells. Still sizzling, so that's the way you want it. Straight into the shell.
is awesome. Now, I've also noticed down beside me, there's just a little bit of finishing touches here, eh?
That's it.
Do you want
We've
to
got
do
our
it or should
micro
I?
herbs.
Cheers, mate. Let's get into it. Oh. You know what I like? It's simplicity at its best. You know, Asian flavours work so well with any seafood, and that's a banging little dish.
Just try that.
Coming up,
Oh, it smells wonderful.
a cooking lesson with Rick Stein.
So good, isn't it?
It's so good.
You could win a culinary escape to Hong Kong. Let Hello World and Cathay Pacific fly you and a friend to Hong Kong with return flights from Auckland, Wellington or Christchurch. Spend 4 nights at the luxurious 4-star Park Hotel in a superior twin-share room, plus learn how to cook traditional dim sum with a 2-hour cooking class. Go to tvnz.co.nz/taste of a traveller to enter. Good luck.
I'm on the south coast of New South Wales, and this morning I'm meeting up with Brett McGregor for a unique seafood experience. Brett.
G'day, Brett. Come aboard.
Beautiful. How are you, mate?
Good, Brett. How are you?
Very well, thanks for meeting
Good
me.
to meet you. Good to meet
I'll
you.
tell you what, it might get a bit complicated. So do you go by any other names?
Yes, sponge.
Sponge?
Let's go with that.
All right, mate, let's go harvesting.
Good on you, Brett. Alrighty.
Brett, or rather Sponge, runs Captain Sponge's magical oyster tours. As well as being an oyster farmer himself, he harvests over 20,000 dozen Sydney rock oysters every year on the Pambula River estuary.
Most of us catch oysters out of the wild.
Yeah.
This lake here is a good one. Pambula Lake is a good one to catch out of because it has got a huge natural population of oysters around it. So these little baby oysters, they're floating around January, February. Hopefully they'll hit one of our slats, crawl along it, and then they grab hold and they start laying down shell.
Okay.
As they grow, you'll come and get them out and you'll put them into what we call a floating bag, which is one of these things.
All right, mate, well, give me some oysters.
All right, mate, actually, you're going to have to give me a hand.
Oh, what bloody kind of tour is this?
It's more like a labour camp than a tour.
So how deep is it going to be?
Oh, well, it shouldn't be over your head.
It's a waders-on, hands-on experience where you can learn pretty much all you want to know about oysters and farming.
We're using these floating bags.
Yeah.
One of the main reasons that we farm in the bag is that we can dry our oysters out. So they eat algae, and the algae's floating in the water right there now.
Yeah, okay, so that obviously keeps the oysters nice and clean for sale, so they're looking the best when they get to the restaurants.
Exactly.
So how many are in each bag?
About 10 dozen. I run about 10 dozen in each bag. So here we have, these are 3-year-old Sydney rock oysters.
Wow, perfect eating size.
Yeah.
3 years to get that little beauty to that size, and that is really perfect eating size at the table.
Yes.
I can see that going in already.
So we'll open some, mate.
Oh, I think it's a good idea. Which brings us to my favourite part of this experience.
So you want me to teach you how to shuck an
Oh,
oyster?
I'd love you to, mate.
All right, I'm sure you already know, but this is the way I do it. So I hold the knife up close to the tip like that, wriggle your way into that hinge. All right, we're in there now. Pop the lid up. And what I do then is slide the knife forward. The adductor muscle is about here. Cut that muscle off. Okay, get rid of the shell. Turn the oyster around. Right, get rid of any shell that might be in there. And then cut that same muscle off the bottom shell and turn the oyster over.
So why rotate it over like that?
Normally it's for presentation.
Yeah, they look a lot more plump that way, don't they?
They do, yeah.
So what are you going to do with that one?
I think I'm going to eat it.
You?
Or would you like to eat it?
I'd love to try it,
Please do.
Do you know what? It is just, it's always a taste of the ocean, isn't it?
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely.
Creamy, that beautiful saltiness. It's very clean. There's no grit in that at all. But that is beautiful, mate.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for the first one.
Pleasure.
The Sapphire Coast is beautiful, but what I was not expecting was such a strong emphasis on gourmet experiences. Another thing about the South Coast that I've just learned is that international chef Rick Stein has some accommodation in a restaurant just north of here in a town called Mollymook. Now he is an absolute legend, and I guess we've got a little bit in common, both being international travelling chefs and all. Wouldn't it be fantastic if he was there and I could actually get to meet him? It's a once in a lifetime. The accommodation and restaurant is called Bannisters, and when Rick is not around, you can even book to stay in his private 6-bedroom holiday house. But the big news is, Rick is in town. To my surprise, he knew who I was and was only too happy to meet up for a cook-up. Somebody pinch me. Rick,
Well,
what an absolute pleasure, mate. How are you?
well, very nice to meet you. As you know, I've seen you before. I've seen you on a plane, actually.
Well, there has been a few episodes on the plane, but
Really?
I mean, that's nice of you to say if that is true.
No, it's true, it's true. I just said, well, where have I seen him? And I remember it was on a flight to Perth.
Oh, that is awesome. You know,
Gosh.
the show is getting out there.
Yeah.
But, you know, I'm just scratching the surface. And
Well, I like to check out the competition. That's the thing.
well, that's even a greater thing to say. Let's go cook, eh?
Okay.
So, Rick, what are we cooking today?
Well, I thought I'd do a linguine, seafood linguine from Albania.
So, obviously, using some fresh local
Yeah,
seafood.
would you want to have a go? We're both... basically, I've got this bit of a, I don't know, bee in my bonnet about prawns that I don't think people use enough of them. They just throw the shells away. So,
Well, that's true. I mean, the first rule of thumb in the kitchen, though, is
Yeah.
the least waste possible, isn't it?
Absolutely. Wherever we're using lobsters, crabs, prawns, we always use the shell for making a seafood stock.
Absolutely, because it's got so much flavour in there. It's
Exactly.
rich, beautiful,
You can whack those in there now. I just put a bit of oil.
nice and hot.
Yeah, yeah. OK, just a bit of garlic now. You don't need to...
So much flavour in the skins.
Absolutely, and you don't need, if you're making a stock like this, you don't need to take the skins
It's
off.
funny because all through Southeast Asia, the skins
Yeah.
are left on, and it does really just give it a more, I think, unctuous, caramelised flavour as well.
Absolutely. Just a bit of
So about a
tomato.
tablespoon of
tomato paste.
paste.
Yeah, just a bit of sweetness and a bit of colour,
Okay.
and then some water. I'm going to just let them simmer away now for about 20 minutes, I suppose, just to get as much flavour as possible. I think we might start cooking the pasta now. Got my water boiling, put in a bit of salt in there, quite a lot. It takes about 8 minutes.
Okay, perfect. Perfect, and I can see that's reduced by about 2/3.
Yeah, that's good. Look at that.
Yeah, look at the colour. And I tell you what, if you don't give this a good squeeze, obviously you're just going to waste a little bit. And
You are.
We don't want that. Some beautiful fresh squid.
Yeah. God, it's good, this local squid, I must say. So just slice this up a little bit. Lovely
And I mean,
stuff.
look at it, yeah. Smells awesome.
It does. So we're cooking the prawns now.
So can I do anything to help you out?
Well, you could cut up those cherry tomatoes now. That'd be great.
Just one whole run?
I'm just going to put these mussels in here now.
Into quarters?
Yeah. That's brilliant.
Right, yeah, the tomatoes are done.
Right, we just need to do the pasta now.
Perfect.
OK, just leave that drain off a bit.
Okay.
In with the tomatoes. Brilliant. So I just remembered I've forgotten the chilli. Nothing wrong with a bit of pressure. It really is rock
So a
and roll,
good
isn't
pinch
it?
of chilli.
Yeah,
And
now
that
the
beautiful
stock.
stock.
Yeah, I might not put it all in. There we go. Just let that boil down a little bit. And then add a bit of parsley and the pasta, of course. Just before you start, just try that.
Oh, it smells wonderful in here.
So good, isn't it?
It's so good.
Just
But
imagine losing that flavour, you know? And it's just like...
because the prawn shell, so it's the stock that is
Yeah.
really lifting that dish. It's
It is,
beautiful.
it is. Fab. In with the pasta. There we go.
And now it's just a matter of tossing it together.
Yeah, it is. Let's take some over here now, I think.
The smell in here is outstanding. I feel like probably one of the luckiest people on the planet at the
Oh,
moment.
you're nice.
Well, you know, I've had an awesome day, and
Oh,
thank you
good.
so much for your time. You've given me years of inspiration, and long may it continue.
Oh, well, love that. Loving that, as they say.
Recipes featured are available at tvnz.co.nz/Taste of a Traveller. Next, the Sydney fish markets and a young gun on the Sydney scene with a stunning dish. It is so juicy, so flavourful,
You could win a trip to Sydney and the New South Wales South Coast. Fly to Sydney, pick up your rental car and enjoy a leisurely drive to Mollymook, where you'll spend 2 fabulous nights at Bannisters by the sea. Enjoy dinner for 2 at Rick Stein at Bannisters, then head back to Sydney's vibrant city centre. Enjoy 2 nights exploring the new dining precincts, including Sydney's inner city suburb of Paddington, to enjoy dinner for 2 at Saint Pierre. Go to tvnz.co.nz/taste of a traveller to enter. Good luck.
My final destination on my New South Wales seafood adventure is Sydney and the Sydney fish markets.
Can I have a hold?
Now, I reckon that's going to look pretty good on anyone's plate, but that is one impressive crab. I'm meeting up with Josh Nyland, a young chef who is shaking up the trendy Sydney food scene. So what are we after, Josh?
I don't know, mate. We'll have a look and see what we've got on the floor.
But
and
what do
see
you
if
mean
we
you
get
don't
lucky.
know? Hold on a minute. We've got up so early. Surely you've got an idea.
Yeah, I mean, we'll roll the dice and see what we can find. Look at this guy here.
Yeah, that is not the most attractive fish I've ever seen in my life.
No, but it's a good one in batter. It's going to be for the fish and chips today, I reckon. I'll get my boy up in the shelf
Yeah.
to bid on that one.
All right. Love it.
But yeah, no, we come down here and have a look at what's down here, really, and we write a menu once we know what looks good. So
Hold on. So you're doing your menu every day for the service in the evening?
yeah, that's right.
That's
I
a
mean,
lot of work.
we just go in freestyle. All these little underutilised species here, like, they're just not getting enough airtime,
Yeah,
really.
yeah,
So
yeah.
we've got to fly the flag for the little guys, and we've got to drop the percentage of the snappers and the barras and the...
You know, it's the same thing happening in New Zealand at the moment.
Yeah.
And just because you don't know about a fish or how to cook it doesn't mean you can't learn something new.
That's right. And this
I know what that is.
the king. So
Yeah,
it's
we've got plenty of those at home as well.
the wild kingfish.
Yeah. So what makes what are you looking for? What's a good one to buy?
You can see that the eye's like kind of risen up off the head there.
Yep,
And it's
okay.
just got this nice natural gleam over the top of it. I reckon we get one of these, and I'm going to show you how to cook it.
All right, I'd love
Best
to see
way.
it, mate.
Good.
Nice, let's get it.
Awesome.
St. Peter is an unassuming little restaurant in the inner city suburb of Paddington. But how Josh prepares his dishes is far from unassuming. It's masterful. So Josh, what are we going to do with this beautiful kingfish?
Well, I'm going to start with the scales. We, at the restaurant, we're taking all the scales off the fish.
Do you want me to go and get the scaler out of the car?
You can leave it in there, mate, with the fish box that we got this fella in. No, we're cutting the scales off, basically, so we don't damage this fish.
That has got to be some of the best knife work I think I've ever seen.
We could go into business together. We could make handbags, mate.
I think we could.
Kingfish's got such a lovely soft flesh. The second you take to town on it with one of those scalers, it becomes like it's a little bit mushy almost. We just crack through that little frame, and then that's our
Beautiful.
section. So we just get a nice block.
Yeah, lovely.
You can see the skin, like
Yeah,
I mean,
it's glistening. Yeah,
and how firm it is.
Exactly.
Yeah, first of all, little skillet, screaming hot.
Ooh, yeah, some serious heat.
Standing in front of this all night makes a man out of you.
Yeah.
So-
I actually think that's probably a mistake that many people at home make. They
That's
don't get
right.
the pan hot enough.
That's right. This now, clarified butter.
Rightio.
So it gets to an extreme heat without breaking down. So we go in. Naturally, a fish will want to tense
Curl up a little bit.
So basically, these are fish weights. They're food grade stainless steel, 1.2 kilos.
Right.
It allows the fish to cook nice and evenly. The same thing at home can be achieved with a couple of pots, where
Okay.
you can just stack that on the side like that.
Rightio.
So we're looking at just getting a really nice, even gold skin.
And you can even see that. You can see that coming out of the fish.
So the idea is that the ghee, this first batch of ghee, has achieved what it had to achieve.
Okay.
And then we lacquer it up again, get that on, and then go through the oven now.
And so what have you got your oven set at?
220 is probably another 3 minutes. So we're going to get stuck into our silver beet.
Okay.
We've washed this, so hot pan. It seems like a lot of spinach.
Yeah, but it does kind of cook down a
It all
lot,
comes
doesn't
down.
it?
I'm going to put a little salt in.
Okay.
And then, again, our fish weight that we use. So that goes on.
And that's just gonna, that's it, that's just gonna wilt down?
Yeah, so the idea is all this on the hottest edges of the pan is going to go a little bit crispy.
Yeah.
And then the centre underneath the weight, you can see all this water vapour, then
So
that's going to make it soft.
frying and steaming.
That's right. Take this, and out comes our spinach. We're just going to put a little of this preserved lemon.
So that's just lemons and salt?
Yeah, I'm going to check on our fish, and you can hear the crispy skin.
Yeah, I can. I hope you can hear that at home.
So that goes over,
Wow, okay.
and then that goes there. Now, like any good piece of meat, you need to rest it.
Absolutely.
While that's just relaxing there, we're just going to go with a little pepper.
The smell in here is terrific, you know?
It's really delicious. So we go over and over, just for the shape, you know, like it's...
Oh, you're going to roll a cigar?
Yeah,
And look how juicy that is, you
that's
know?
right. And then we're going to put some freshly cut chives, a bit of onion sweetness. And then, just so we remember what was inside, a little more of the preserved lemon on top, and a tiny bit of salt in the chives for visual, and also a little texture on the salt. The fish comes to the board, and then we're able to slice the length of it for 2 people. We then season the skin with coarse sea salt, dress it with a little bit of olive oil, and we've already added quite a bit of citrus now to the silver beet, so that's going to be the relief, I suppose, what you go back to eat the kingfish with. So that's our dish, finished.
Well, it looks absolutely stunning, mate. Simplicity at its absolute finest, and you've got nowhere to hide here.
Nowhere, mate.
It is so juicy, so flavorful.
And you see about that acidity that it gives you?
You can tell
Yeah.
yeah, my mouth is absolutely watering. It is just beautiful.
Try a bit of the spinach.
I don't even want to talk yet.
Thanks,
Thank
mate.
you so much, mate, for all the inspiration today.
appreciate it.
It's amazing. A good tea match for this dish is green tea with lemongrass. Hello. Very well, thank you. How are you? Check out Hello World's Deal of the Week to New South Wales.
Experience a taste of New South Wales for yourself with Hello World. 3 nights at the 4.5-star Park Royal Darling Harbour and a Hunter Valley food and wine lovers tour from just $665 per person twin share. Contact Hello World on 0800 260 260 or visit tvnz.co.nz/taste of a traveller.